Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to discuss the phenomena of beats. So, what are beats? Let us first consider by example. If we listen to two sounds of slightly different frequencies, for example 552 Hz and 564 Hz, a few minutes apart, most of us cannot differentiate one from the other. However, if the sounds reach our ear simultaneously, then we will hear a sound whose frequency is equal to the average of the individual waves. That is, in this case, this will be 558 Hz. And we also note that a striking variation occurs in the intensity of this sound, this resultant sound. It increases and it decreases in slow wavering beats that repeat at a frequency of 12 Hz. That is the difference of the two individual frequencies, that is 564 minus 552, that will be equal to 12 Hz. Figure 1 and figure 2 show this beat phenomena. So what are beating or beats? Beating is the periodic variation in intensity at a given point due to the superposition of two waves having slightly different frequencies. Here we say the intensity, and we know that the intensity is proportional to the square of the amplitude. So this depends on the net the amplitude of the resultant wave. The resultant wave will have a varying intensity, that is a varying amplitude with time. So this figure shows two waves of about the same frequency. That is, their frequencies are slightly different, and this sinusoidal variation is the pressure variation of the sound wave, as we have already discussed that delta p is equal to delta p maximum into sine of kx minus omega t. So this wave has slightly different frequencies from this one, and at some points they completely they go through completely destructive interference, then intermediate interference, then at some points you will have completely constructive interference, and then again the interference will be shifted to intermediate and then completely destructive. At this location you see that the peak of this one is slightly at a separation from this one. So here is an intermediate interference, and as you move like this, so at this point you see that the crest of this wave and the trough of this, here these are this seems to be crest and trough, but in the sound waves these corresponds to the compression and rarefaction. In the compression you have a higher pressure, and in the rarefaction you have a lower pressure. So when the compression and rarefaction arrive at the same point at the same time, they will completely cancel each other, and you have a zero displacement, a zero net displacement or a zero amplitude of the resultant wave. This figure C shows the resultant wave. As the time passes, this is versus time. So as the time passes, the interference phenomena changes, and at this location you see that the compression and of this wave and the compression of this wave arrive at the same point at the same time. We are observing, or we are receiving these wave in the time coordinates, and the listener or the detector is standing at a single point. That is, we only look into the time dependence. So at this point, at this time, you see that completely constructive interference occurs over here, and the compression is at the compression, and the rarefaction arrives at the time of rarefaction. And so we see that the intensity of this wave slowly increases, reaches to a maximum, and then start to decrease. So it makes a wave like this, and the frequency of this wave, this resultant wave, that is the variation of the intensity. And when you have a louder sound and again a louder sound, so you will count this as the frequency of this resultant wave, and that the frequency of this resultant wave will be equal to the difference of the frequencies of this wave and this wave. This is the beating phenomena. If we look into this phenomena over here, and we take that pressure variation again on a single scale, this is one wave, the blue one, and this black one is the other wave. So they have slightly different frequencies. At this point, or at this time, they are completely out of phase. That is, phase difference is pi radian. As time passes, so the phase difference between them changes, and here you have completely destructive interference. The interference changes with time and is becoming intermediate interference over here, and at this location, at this time, the interference is completely constructive. Again it goes towards the intermediate interference, and finally again we have over here a completely destructive interference. So we have a wave like this. Now what will the beat frequency will be? The frequency of this wave, this envelope. You see there, here is an envelope like shape that encloses this resultant wave. So the beats have the frequency of this envelope wave. Now let us go towards the mathematical description of the beats in terms of the displacement of the sound waves. So let us consider only the time dependence of the variation of the displacement of the two sound waves of equal amplitude Sm. यहाँ पे जो डिटेक्टर है that is at the same location, and we are hearing sound waves from two different sources whose frequencies are slightly different, यानी उनकी फ्रीक्वेंसी एक दूसरे के बहुत करीब हैं और हम सेम टाइम पे उनको सुन रहे हैं. So just we are considering the time variation, that with how these waves vary with time. So let us consider that the waves that we are receiving have the same amplitude and slightly different frequencies. So let this S1 should be the displacement of the wave 1, that is equal to Sm cos omega 1t, and the displacement of the wave 2 is Sm cos omega 2t. And as we know that this displacement of the sound wave is associated with the pressure variation, so we can equally consider the pressure variation as well as the displacement with time. Now let us suppose omega 1 is slightly greater than omega 2. We can take the vice versa as well. We can take the omega 2 is greater than omega 1. That makes no difference, but these the frequencies should be slightly different. From the superposition principle, the resultant displacement is thus, superposition principle ये कहता है कि इंडिविजुअल वेव्स के डिस्प्लेसमेंट का सम रिजल्टेंट वेव का डिस्प्लेसमेंट होगा. सो this is S. Let's suppose S is the displacement of the resultant wave, that will be equal to S1 plus S2 and is equal to Sm cos omega 1t plus cos omega 2t. So we use the trigonometric identity that cos of alpha plus cos of beta. Let us call this angle as alpha and this as beta. So we can write this as 2 cos of alpha minus beta by 2 cos of alpha plus beta by 2, and using this relation we arrive at this representation 2Sm cos omega 1 minus omega 2 t into cos omega 1 plus omega 2 into t. Let us name this omega 1 minus omega 2 divided by 2 as omega prime, and this omega 1 plus omega 2 divided by 2 as omega. This omega clearly is the average of the two frequencies, and this is the difference of the two frequencies divided by 2. So the final displacement of the resultant wave comes to be S1 plus S2 is equal to 2Sm cos omega prime into t into cos of omega t. As we assume that the angular frequencies omega 1 and omega 2 of the combining waves are almost equal, that is, they are slightly different, which means that omega is much greater than omega prime in equation 5. We can take equation 6 as a cosine function, means this omega prime is very small, so f this term goes to 0, f omega prime into t goes to 0, this cos term will go to 1, and but this is not exactly 0, again it is varying, and overall this wave is has a time variation of this term cos omega t. So we can take equation 6 as a cosine function whose angular frequency is omega, that is average of the two frequencies, and whose amplitude, which is not constant but varies with angular frequency omega prime. This we can take as amplitude, but this amplitude slowly varies with the frequency omega prime, and as omega prime is the difference of both the omegas divided by 2, so it is very small as compared to omega. And if we take the absolute value of this quantity, this will give you the amplitude of the resultant wave. So this is a wave, this resultant wave S is a wave that has amplitude this and time variation is cos omega t. But this amplitude is not constant with time, it varies with time with this frequency. The amplitude of the resultant wave is Sm resultant. We can call this value as Sm resultant, such that Sm resultant is equal to 2Sm cos omega prime into t. The amplitude will be maximum as f cos omega prime into t is equal to +1 or -1. We have just taken here the modulus of this term. So even अगर cos omega prime t माइनस हो या प्लस हो तो Sm रिजल्टेंट जो है वो पॉजिटिव ही होगा. सो ये +1 पे भी मैक्सिमम है और -1 पे भी मैक्सिमम है. और in each repetition of the cosine function its value is once +1 and once -1. So the amplitude become maximum twice in each cycle of the cos omega prime t term. Thus, the beating phenomena will occur at a frequency twice of omega prime. That is, the frequency of the beats will be 2 omega prime, that is equal to omega 1 minus omega 2, the difference of the individual angular frequencies. And hence, the frequency of the beats will be f beat is equal to f1 minus f2. But here we have written just f1 minus f2, but it is not always necessary that f1 should be greater than f2. So we have to take the mod of this, that is the difference, just the difference of the two frequencies will be equal to the frequencies of the beats. Now a sample problem related to the beats. So this is a sample problem when an emperor penguin returns from a search for food. How can it find its mate among the sounds of penguins huddled together for warmth in the harsh Antarctic weather? It is not by sight, because penguins all look alike even to a penguin. The answer lies in the way penguins vocalize. Most birds vocalize by using only one side of their two-sided vocal organ called the syrinx. So emperor penguins, however, vocalize by using both sides simultaneously. Each side set up acoustic standing waves in the bird's throat and mouth, much like in a pipe with two open ends. Suppose that the frequency of the first harmonic produced by side A is FA1 and the frequency by the first harmonic produced by side B is 371. यानी इन बर्ड्स के जो ये सेम टाइम पे दो मुख्तलिफ फ्रीक्वेंसीज़ के ट्यून्स निकाल सकते हैं. तो एक साइड का फ्रीक्वेंसी लेट इतना है और दूसरे का इतना. व्हाट इज़ द बीट फ्रीक्वेंसी बिटवीन दोज टू फर्स्ट हार्मोनिक्स एंड बिटवीन द टू सेकंड हार्मोनिक फ्रीक्वेंसीज? नाउ एज वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, ये तो बहुत लंबी स्टोरी थी. यहाँ पे हमें जो फिज़िकल डाटा है वो ये है कि टू वेव्स साइमल्टेनियसली एमिट हो रही है. एक की फ्रीक्वेंसी 432 हर्ट्ज़ है, दूसरे की 371 हर्ट्ज़ है. तो इन साउंड से जो बीट्स प्रोड्यूस होंगे उन बीट्स के फ्रीक्वेंसीज क्या होगी? सो वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड दैट द फ्रीक्वेंसीज ऑफ द बीट्स विल बी equal to the difference of the two frequencies, and that comes out to be 61 hertz over here. आगे इसको सॉल्व किया गया है कि ये अगर फर्स्ट हार्मोनिक्स है तो उनके सेकंड हार्मोनिक से जो बीट्स प्रोड्यूस होंगे उनके फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या होंगी। तो सेकंड हार्मोनिक हमारे पास होता है 2 times द फंडामेंटल फ्रीक्वेंसी और द फर्स्ट हार्मोनिक। सो इसके लिए फर्स्ट सेकंड हार्मोनिक F2A1 will be equal to twice 432 and F2B1 will be equal to twice this 371। सो इनको दो से दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई करके जो डिफरेंस आएगा वो इनके सेकंड हार्मोनिक के बीट्स की फ्रीक्वेंसी होगी। थैंक यू।